Hello, I am recording this video for SSDI. This is to present our project, which is a typing race. It is not only a typing race website, but it's also a website to just practice your typing. When you first go on the homepage, you can click the logo, you can click stories, and that will take you right here where you can right away start typing. And this will calculate your accuracy or WPM, which is your words per minute. So right now, as you can see, when you first go on the site, the time starts at 15. You can change that here, 30, 60, 90. The stories do change in length depending on the time, which is fetched from the database. We are using Postgres for our database. Our stack is Vue for the front end and Express for the back end. We're using Tailwind for the styling, and we're using, like I said, Postgres for the database. Right here, so for example, if you do 15 seconds and you start typing, as you can see, when you make mistakes, it goes down. You can keep going and skip, but obviously your accuracy will go down, and then you keep typing obviously until the time is finished. Once the time is finished, it will freeze. I can't type anymore, and as you can see, we get a new story button. We do have English currently. We don't have any other languages. But you click new story, and then again you're back to where you started. These stories do look scripted because I used a random word generator to generate them. Obviously, we could store in the database more authentic stories, but that is just a matter of preference. Again, so this is the time. We also have a graph function. As soon as you click it, you get a graph, and then as soon as you start typing, the graph will start going. This graph basically will show your progress. So after you're done, this is where it will look like. You can check. So you see right now, because the time is running and we're not typing, the W words per minute is going downwards, as it should. As you can see, also the placeholder where the text is, the WPM and accuracy, when you go right and it overflows, it switches to the right side. And that is one of the little features we had because earlier it would just overflow and it would hide, but now it would just switch right to left, left to right. And that is our graph to show your progress. Now we move on to the race. When you first get onto the race, you see some basic generated text, and you can enter a race. So when you click enter a race, you need a minimum of 4 players. So you just wait until a player. If you change your mind, you can click exit the race, or you can click enter and you enter the race. The text you get is per room. So when you join, we put you in a game room, and that's the text you get in the game room. And then now when other players, you see I go another tab, I click enter a race. Now there's 2 players. And as you can see, this is player 1, he's up top. Player 2, this is player 1, player 2 is at the bottom. Now we're waiting for 2 more players. Now if I go here, enter a race, 3 players. And I go here, enter a race, there's 4 players. The countdown starts going. And you see now we have 3 minutes to type. Now obviously all the other players are not typing. So I can start typing. And as you can see, the progress keeps going now. Now this is going to take a little bit until I type it. And the reason for that is because I want to show you what happens when you finish typing. It's actually nothing special. But we added also a couple things. For example, when you make a mistake, and you keep typing, you can only type 6 characters before you keep going, and it stops. You have to go back and correct your last letter, because in order to win, you need every letter to be right, and this is how we ensure the game to be fair to everyone. As long as everyone types everything right, you can win. So now you just I'm gonna keep typing until I get to the end. Emotions, words cannot. And this is the last word. Now you see the time is still running. As soon as I press the dot for the last character, the time stops, the WPM starts 46. I get placed first. I go to the other games. It also shows first right here. Now in the first player who won, I can click play again. That will join me in a new game. And the other players, I am still showing as first. Here, again, if I type, that will update. And if I go to the other ones, you see there's 2 more players. And you see, for example, this player is the last one. when you type, the player that was last now becomes the second because it has the most progress. The WPM is also lively updated. So you see right now it's at 2, it's at 1. If I go here, they're both at 1. If I type fox jumps over the lazy dog, as you can see it's 4. I go here, it's also 4. This is all using WebSockets. So we use WebSockets to change the graph, the text, well, not the graph, sorry, the text, the leaderboard, the players that are in when players exit. So you know, even if you're within a game, you give up, you're like, you know what, I'm so bad at this. You click exit, you can leave and enter a new game. In other games, you'll still exist as a player until the time runs out. Once the time runs out, the game will tell you the time has run out and you can't type anymore. So I'm waiting for the little 37 seconds to run out. While that happens, I'm trying to think what other features I can show. Here, this one, remember in the other one, if you make a mistake, you can only type in 4 letters. For this one, we also changed it. Because this is stories, you can make as many mistakes, you're not racing anyone, and there's no point of being fair, you're just practicing. So you can actually type as much as you want wrong characters. You know, you're just practicing, right? So what you can do here also, obviously right now, when you make a mistake, it turns red. And then when you go beyond the word and you type mistakes, it just concatenates it to the existing string. And you can press space and keep going. The only limit here is once you write a word correctly, you cannot erase. So you see now, if I go new story, if I type in reading, make a mistake, go books. If I don't press space, I can delete. But if I press space, I cannot delete. I will stay at the can, and I cannot go backwards. Now, if we go back here to the time has run out. As you can see, the time is 0. It says time's up, and it says play again. So as soon as the time runs out, I can't even type if I wanted to. It just says this is it, and you can click play again, and you can play again. This version right now is running in production. So if we go to the code base, now everything beyond this point is about code base. Actually, before that, I do want to show the responsiveness of the site. So this site was not meant to be used on a phone. However, we did make it work fine as small as this. So if your phone, actually we can go here. Let's see what phone we can work on. iPhone 12. So you see, like when you go smaller than that, it won't work. So the limit would be, this is the limit. So anything from here works just fine. Anything bigger than this. Now back to the code base here. This is currently running on the Node Express. So as you can see, this is just the backend. So before, our structure was, we have 2 files, the front and back end. Both of these has its own node modules. And so you'll run npm start for this, for the front end, to run view for development. You'll run the backend for the development of the backend separately also because of npm. But this is currently in production version. So if I just run, so you see right now this is not running. If I close it, reload this, doesn't run. As soon as I run my npm run dev for the backend will serve the built files. And you see this is in my dist. These are my built files. This is the production version. If I want to run the development, I just do in the front end directory, npm run dev. As you can see, it looks a little bit different and it's a different local host. We are using Vite to modularize and create our JavaScript files into chunks to make it easier to load. So you see now if I go to inspect and I go to network, reload this, there's a bunch of files in chunks to make the site more responsive. But this is on localhost, on front end for development, and this is on the back end, this is the production version. However, they both work the same and similar. And that will sum up everything for the site. It is being tracked on GitHub. So if I go on GitHub, don't mind a lot of files I have here. I believe the one is this one. And as you can see, we've been committing recently. We have our README if you want any instructions on how to run it. Everything is being tracked down. I'm actually surprised there's only 95 commits. I swear we've had a lot more than that. But I guess we make branches, so probably that's why. But yes, that's about it for this project. Thank you for watching, and I hope I was informative of everything that we've included. I'm trying to think of any bugs I want to mention to be transparent, but I honestly can't think of any. We tried to cover every edge case. If you do actually find any bugs, do let us know, because we do plan to eventually maybe take this to production on an actual site. So thank you for watching and have a good day.